These two teams were FA Cup finalists 7 years ago when Everton's Louis Saha scored the fastest goal in that Wembley to come back. Here's Baines. An early test for Courtois. Everton immediately on the front foot with the returning Tom Cleverley.
Yeah, and just a little reminder of what Cleverley brings to Everton's side when he plays. You know, he always has eyes for the penalty box. It's a decent effort, but it lacked power.
Kennedy onside. Back with Kennedy. Well, he opened his Premier League account in the win at Norwich a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it's really good running from him. And when he plays this inside, I think he's trying to get on the end of it. He just knocked it too far. But the little flick from Pedro set him up again. And that's one of those where you really got to get your knee over it to make sure you actually keep the ball down. And he's always underneath, and it's only one play.
Just an opening out of nothing for Tom Cleverley. Ball spinning away off Ivanovic.
I think he's always had that in his makeup, Cleverley. You know, he's not prepared to just sit in the middle of the park or in a wider position as he started today. He loves to go.
Coleman. Lukaku.
Yeah, always.
Fabregas. Delightful ball by Fabregas. Pedro. It's Willian. Robles had to react. Wasn't prepared to take any chances because that was goal-bound.
Yeah, it was a guessing game for Joel Robles as to where it was going to go. And it didn't really move too much from the central position he took up to begin with. And he just does the sensible thing and help it on its way. The improvement needs to come.
Baines. Comfortable save for Courtois. Coming in close contact with a shot from Cleverley, which was saved by Courtois, and they've ended the first half in similar fashion.
Yeah, and I think it was actually probably just bending wide. Courtois wasn't to know that, and it was fairly comfortable, nice height. And even though it's bending away, it's still within his range.
Coleman poised to make his move. Jagielka also in there. Funes Mori. The header is just over the top of the crossbar. Well, Chelsea know what he can do from set plays.
Well, you don't need me to tell you what he feels about this, because that reaction just says it all. I mean, I think he's timed it really well. Cale's got his arm around Jagielka, but he peels off Ivanovic. And he meets it beautifully, Funes Mori. And he's just trying to guide it inside.
Fabregas. Diego Costa. Agonisingly close. And the ball's still in play.
Could have done was maybe just shoot a little earlier. Instead, he decided to kind of keep going. And by the time he could have just pulled the trigger on it then. But by the time he got to that position, I think the angle was so acute, it was just very difficult to try and thread it in. And he misjudged it. He's done really well to get past Robles. But from that angle, you know, it's very, very hard to squeeze it and get it right.
Here's Lennon in behind Kennedy. Lukaku waits. Barkley.
Well, just look at Lukaku in the end. Barkley is looking at him now as if to say, oh, I didn't even see him, mate. He had only eyes for the goal, and he's just trying to smash it. But that was well timed by Barry to get Lennon away. And this is poor from Lennon. And really, Chelsea have done well to keep it alive through Barry again. And once he went on the outside here, just watch Lukaku's position, probably offside, actually. You know, had it been...
Oscar is ready to come on. Lukaku. Smart goal kick in by Kurt. Barkley. Lukaku. Lukaku holding off Azpilicueta and taking on all comers. Brilliant from Lukaku, and Everton in front. A wonderful goal by Romelu Lukaku. All his own work, and the former Chelsea striker has come back to haunt them. Breathtaking from Lukaku. Everton make the breakthrough.
Well, we were saying at the very start of the evening that he's a proper handful, and I think we've just seen it then. But again, the combination of Barkley first, getting Lukaku away, and then his power, his strength kind of took over from there. And he's just bulldozed his way through the Chelsea rearguard. The little cut inside, Ivanovic was poor and going to ground. Azpilicueta's bullied off. Mikel doesn't want to touch him. Cahill's turned inside out. And that's an absolute majestic finish. I was wondering, once he got himself clear, what he was going to come up with. Well, that's a bit special. And the roof has practically come off this stadium all round. Brilliant from the Belgian.
Roberto Martinez celebrates. Romelu Lukaku celebrates the 24th goal of what, again, has been such a productive... Another striker, they know that they've got to go for it now and to try and squeeze an equalising goal in less than 10 minutes. Barkley, Lukaku, this to finish it, and Chelsea are finished. 2 goals in quick succession for Romelu Lukaku. Chelsea surely are down and out of the FA Cup, and Roberto Martinez and Everton are on their way to a Wembley semi-final.
Well, he's got the left foot. Now he's just added a right foot to it. He's on a hat-trick now. All he needs is the header, and he's got the lot, Lukaku. Chelsea were just appealing for offside. They felt he was right on the edge. It seems like he's got level with Cahill, and Kennedy's playing him on, isn't he? The left back has just played him on. And Ivanovic just lost him, was just kind of attracted to the ball, and he let him run behind him. And with the right foot through legs, he thinks he's got it covered, the front post, Courtois, but he can't close the legs quickly enough, and it's just devastating from him. Another really solid finish.
Another magnificent finish by Romelu Lukaku. He's scored in every FA. And now Michael Oliver has to intervene to just keep a lid on one or two tempers who are starting to get out of hand. Diego Costa involved. He's been yellow carded already. He's reached for a card, and having produced a second yellow card for Diego Costa, Chelsea's evening has gone from bad to worse because the bad boy Diego Costa has been dismissed.
That began it all, and it simmered throughout the match, and Diego Costa wasn't happy with that challenge. And I think Barry was probably getting yellow carded for that, and that kind of reaction. And sticking his face into Barry. I mean, I suppose the referee, and it looks as if he might have even been going for a bite, but I'm not sure that ensued. And he tried to kind of make up, but by then the damage was done.
The red mist came down, and Diego Costa has now received a red card. Well, there you go. I think if the Football Association see that evident, helped away by Mikel, who's dropped into Chelsea's back line. Now Barry's got to be careful. He's been yellow carded already. It's 10 against 10 because Gareth Barry has followed Diego Costa off. Unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need whatsoever for Gareth Barry to make any attempt. And by just kicking out like that, it's just stupidity on his part, particularly on the back of what's just happened with Diego Costa. It's daft.
Everton are on their way to Wembley for the Emirates FA Cup semi-final after 2-0 home success against Chelsea. Big smiles on the faces of Bill Kenwright, who says that he is the heart and soul of Everton, who's looked for the right investment and has got it now from the Iranian Farid Marishi. But tonight it's been about what's happened on the pitch and the contribution of their standout performer yet again, Romelu Lukaku. 2 late goals for Lukaku, who was Everton's record signing when they bought him from Chelsea. He has underlined his huge potential yet again. Everton supporters have been disappointed with some of their team's performances in the Premier League under Roberto Martinez. But they've delivered now, they've delivered at Goodison, and they're into the FA Cup semi-final. This 6th round time, the Emirates FA Cup has finished Everton 2, Chelsea 0.
So the Belgian international, Big Romelu Lukaku, with an emphatic brace late in the second half, propels the Blues to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We're back to wrap things up right after this.